Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas.
Thank you very much for watching.
Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today's date, it's March 29th of 2022, and it's almost 3 a.m. in the morning. I just found this news story on CNN. Let me move the microphone here. I hope it's not too noisy over here. It's on this Metformin. I take Metformin for type 2 diabetes. And it says here, men's use of diabetic drug just before conception is linked to a 40% increase in birth defects, study finds. Now, I'm using Metformin, but I had a vasectomy, oh God, must be about 40 years ago. So, my wife at the time, we bought a new house about every 2 years. Well, 3 times, in a row. The price of houses, I guess the price was down. The ex-wife took care, the wife at the time took care of that. She didn't know anything about real estate. I went to real estate school, by the way. I graduated from real estate school. But she wanted a new house. We bought one. 2 years later, the value of the house went up. She wanted a new house. I wanted to stay, So, but we got a new house. 2 years later, she wanted to buy a new house, and I said no. This is we're doing fine. We're making the payments. Nice house, nice location. No, not going to do it. Then, let's see. She said she wanted to. There were 3 things, I can't remember, but anyway, then she said, well, then I want to have another baby. We had 4 kids. I want to have another baby. And I said, no, we're doing okay. The kids are all healthy. No. And then she said, well, I want you to have a vasectomy. And the reason she gave was, she was taking birth control. And there were stories, and I'm sure there are, about the birth control medication, the pill, was, there was some danger involved, some risk, like with everything. And so I got a vasectomy, and then she said, I want a divorce. she got her divorce. So there's no concern. I'm not worried about this for myself. But I thought I would report this story with a little bit of color. That's color, I guess. I don't know. Metformin used by men in the 3-month period before they conceive a child was linked to a 40% higher risk of birth defects in the offspring, according to a study published Monday in the Journal Annals of International Medicine, or Internal Medicine. The research was done out of Denmark, used national registries to follow over 1 million births between 1997 and 2016, and compared the risk of major birth defects in babies based on parental exposure to diabetic medications. I guess it's diabetes medications. The study observed only children who were born to women under 35 and men over 40. Babies born to women with diabetes were excluded. The researchers considered men exposed to metformin if they filled a prescription for it in the 3 months before conception, which is how long it takes the fertilizing sperm to fully mature. According to the study, the frequency of birth defects in babies born to men who had type 2 diabetes diagnosis but who were not taking metformin was 3.1. I guess that's it, and it says 1,594 children. But the frequency was 4.6, 788 in children with parental exposure to metformin during the preconception period. So anyway, I'll put a link to this. There's currently no U.S. Food and Drug Administration warning against the use of metformin by men planning to have children. But anyway, I'll put the link. I didn't read the entire thing, but I'll put the link to that before. My problem is, I trust science, I trust statistics, I trust data, things like that. But I fear here in the United States that there are a lot of people who, don't believe in science. They don't believe in, and that's bad. That's a bad situation for a country and for medicine. I mean, I worked with, well, more than one, but one real nice nurse. She had like 7 kids, I think it was, all well behaved. She thought the Earth. I think she thought the Earth was either 5,000 years old or 10,000 years old. That's how old, that's how old she thinks the world is. That didn't affect her. I don't see how that would affect her being an RN. But also, she didn't let her kids have a television set. She homeschooled them so that, they got her beliefs. But still, I don't, But then the other thing tied in with all this, all the people here in the United States who are, I don't want to, I worked with a lot of people who, who were good people, but, misinformed about stuff. My concern is the Republican Party, the right wing, wants those type of people to be in positions of authority, making decisions. Wants them appointed to, agencies of the United States that make decisions. There again, I guess they were being 10%, being 10,000 years old. I guess. Anyway, and the problem is also with something like this, with medications and that type of stuff, is that people will put money, metformin, a lot of people take it. And there's other, other things. And I'm not sure that, I think that for a lot of the political decisions about medicine and science, that a corporation can get away with doing things that are, wrong. I mean, take smoking. As you know, the investigation finally here in the United States after, oh my God, forever. There was, I think, 7 heads of tobacco companies before I think it was a United States Senate meeting, a committee meeting, for an investigation. Might have been a House meeting, but I think it was a Senate investigation. And all but one of the heads of these tobacco giants, all of them swore under oath that they had no knowledge of any problem with smoking at all. No problem at all with smoking. And it turned out that the government had documentation going back, I forget how far, a long ways, way back in the 1920s or 30s or something, that, tobacco was harmful and deadly to people. And just recently, I forget how long ago this, these members of the tobacco industry that headed up these corporations swore before Congress under oath that, they knew nothing about it. And it wasn't just that, it was known in the corporations in some office or whatever, the highest echelons of the tobacco company knew about these and took every kind of steps that they could to prevent that information from, getting out, leaking out. And so that concerns me about things like this Metformin and other things. But it shouldn't be political. And our government, especially our government, our Constitution, religion should not enter in, to these things. Science should matter, and it's very concerning. But anyway, like I said, now I'm not worried about the Metformin at all. I'm not going to be conceiving any children. I've had a vasectomy, and I'm 81 years of age. So this type of thing, we need to somehow, I don't know how you do it, when you have people who politically let their politics enter into decisions. You can't say, if you think the Earth is, just 10,000 years old, you can't be, a scientist. You can't be in charge of, ancient research, ancient studies of history. I don't know what you can do when you have a situation, like we have. You have people who are opposed to, parts of education. They want to, and our Constitution clearly spells out that, the government, that religion should not enter into government at all, except, for protection of it. But it should not, public schools should not be teaching, religion. not forcing kids to pray. Now, I went to Catholic school, grade school and high school. So, we had religion and, we had the whole shebang. And I think it was good for the kids. But our Constitution spells out that and rulings have been made, that we have maybe half of the population of the United States, that believes in God and angels and devils and wants, to require. It really actually made me sad. I saw a thing on CNN, news site, I think it was like last week. Some small private, it was not a public school. I think it was actually, can't remember the denomination, but it was not a public school, so they can teach religion, whatever religion they want to teach to the kids. But this was pre-kindergarten. This was before kindergarten. And a teacher, there was video, I think, of it. I know I saw a picture, but there was, I think, video made. And the little kids went home, and told their parents. I guess their parents said, Johnny, what'd you do at, school today? And I forget what they sang a song, or recited like a song, and it was an anti-Biden song. And then at the end of it, then the teacher asked the kids, and I forget what the question was, to yell out, who do you hate? And they said, Biden, unanimously. It looked like a small group. I'm thinking maybe 8 to 10 kids or something. But I don't know what the solution is to all the problems. I'm 81. I think it's too late. All I can do is vote, That's it. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to mark this political, on the YouTube checklist here.